Hi guys, this is Emma. I come from Paris, France, and I am currently in New York City. So, I decided to start a YouTube channel to kind of talk about my experience as an actress in New York City with an accent. So, a lot of people that I meet in the industry do tell me, could you lose your accent? Could you neutralize your accent? And at the same time, I'm like, well, if you want an American accent, we are surrounded by American accents. Girls that can speak English with an American accent. And I'm like, why would you want me to do it? And I do understand why. Because the opportunities will be more, and then I'll be able to be sent out more and possibly work more. But I also do believe that my accent and the fact that I'm French is what makes me specific, and also what is going to get me work at the end. I really do believe in that, because every time I am in the streets and I end up meeting new strangers, I talk to them, and every time they hear my accent, that's when they get interested in me. So I mean, I'm blonde, I'm white, you can get many girls that look like me and speak American, so what's the point? Not that I think there's no point in losing it or neutralizing it. It's just that I'm not sure I can do it. And at the same time, I'm not sure I want to do it, which is the contrast. But anyway, like, also, it's hard to be an actress to begin with. And being an actress in a foreign country is even harder. But I think the reason why I wanted to try it in New York is because I felt like it could be possible, that my difference could be a good thing here. And I still do believe it is true. But also, I've been in the States for approximately 10 years on and off. Went to school here. Kind of just happened. Like, it's not that I planned on being here for this long. I guess life just happened and made me stay, and I agreed with it. It's not that easy. You do have to deal with visa. You do have to deal with other obstacles that people do not think of. But there is one thing I noticed. It's kind of fun to be a foreigner in New York or in America, period. Like, every time I make a mistake in English, it has to be sexually related. I mean, there is not a single time that it isn't. Every time I make a mistake, it doesn't happen every day, but every time I make a mistake, it is sexually related. And I'm like, oh my God, like, oh my God. But like, for example, a few years ago, I was with a friend of mine in LA, and we had gone to the mall and bought stuff, and then at one point we separated, and we were like, okay, let's just go to this store, and then I go to this store, and then we meet up afterwards. So when we met up, I told her that I pleasured myself, and she looked at me kind of like, Emma, you do not need to tell me everything. It's like, girl, what are you talking about? I just bought 2 jackets and a pair of shoes. Like, I just pleasured myself. Like, I'm not saying something odd, or I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. And she looks at me and she's like, oh, okay. You treated yourself. You treated yourself. You do not say you pleasure yourself, because that becomes masturbation. And when she told me this, I was like, of course. And but I mean, we're still friends, and we still talk about it, even though it happened a few years ago. And yeah, it's just very interesting being a foreigner, learning a different language, understanding that language. And you would think that between France and America there is no difference in the culture, or that the cultural shock wouldn't be this big, and yet we're pretty different. Like, Europe, America, it's not quite the same. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not saying that one is worse than the other. I'm just saying we're different. We have different holidays. We have different ways of seeing life. We are different, but that's also what is great about it. And yeah, I mean, I started this YouTube channel because I also want to be seen as an actor. Be like, okay, my accent does not stop me from being in America. My accent will not stop me from being proactive and work. So we're gonna have our first video coming up soon, and it's just a bunch of my friends and I trying different food fusions. The concept that I really want to do is not exactly being a food critic, because there are so many videos of it already, so that's not what I'm looking for. What I want and you'll discover it soon enough, not in the first video. The first video is going to be about the fusion between Filipino cuisine and Tex-Mex. Wait for it. But I just want to try weird food, some things that you usually wouldn't order, and have very honest reaction about it. Just kind of like the durian fruit. But along the way, and while we're making those videos, I'm also going to be posting what it is like to be an actor in New York. But not only that, because the struggle of actors, we all know it. We all know that being an artist is hard. Being an actor or working in the film industry is even harder, because if you're a musician, you can go to the subway, you can go to the streets, you play music, you do whatever you want. Where if you're a painter or any other kind of artist, usually you can do it on your own, and you just have to force yourself in doing it, being proactive and creative. When you're an actor or a director or a sound engineer or something related to the film industry, you need other people. You can't just, go to the streets and do a monologue. I mean, I could, but is it really what we want to do? Is it really what you want to see? You'll just think I'm a freak. And I probably would think that of myself too, but no, it's harder. You can't just do it. You need people. And I'm tired of waiting for auditions. I'm tired of going to workshops. I'm tired of this whole system. So here we go. I'm trying this, and if it doesn't work, then at the end I'm just gonna have fun with friends. And if it works, then I thank you already for this, and I can't wait